What's up, motorists? Today we're looking at something that might be one of the most interesting cars to come out this year. As you might be able to tell from my shirt, or indeed the car in front of me, today we're looking at the all-new BYD Sealion 6 DMI. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified of all our future uploads. So to start us off, I'm going to jump straight into what makes the Sealion 6 DMI so interesting, and that's what's under here. That's right, your eyes do not deceive you. This is an engine, a petrol-powered engine under the hood of a BYD. The first time a hybrid has been available here in Singapore from the Chinese brand. Now this is a 1.5 litre 4-cylinder engine that is of course still mated to an electric motor and a battery, an 18.3 kilowatt hour battery. Now combined, the engine and the motor produce 215 horsepower and 300 Newton meters of torque. Now of course, having a petrol-powered powertrain in the Sealion 6 of course opens up the market to a whole bunch of new consumers who perhaps weren't ready to make the switch to a fully electric lifestyle. Now moving on to the rest of the car itself, you can see design-wise, the Sealion 6 looks fairly similar to the Sealion 7 EV we've taken a look at recently. You still get a similar look to the front end with that BYD design language, as well as of course LED headlights and daytime running lights. And along the side you can see the look is still fairly similar as well. This is a pretty good looking SUV, it's fairly muscular, and now while the Sealion 7 had more of a coupe SUV look, this is much more of a traditional SUV square back look. Now you only get one spec option for the Sealion 6 DMI here in Singapore, which means you get 19-inch rims as your only option. You get keyless entry and exit as standard, and of course you get this, which is a fuel door. Now this will be the first time you would have seen one of these on a BYD here in Singapore, but there it is, a fuel door, proof that this can be powered by dinosaur juice. Now because this is a plug-in hybrid, there is an electric charging flap on the other side that allows you to recharge the 18.3 kilowatt hour battery with DC or AC charging. Now here at the back you can see more of that traditional SUV styling with the boxy shape here at the back as opposed to the coupe styling we get on the Sealion 7. But of course that means it is still functional. Now before I open the boot you can still see LED rear tail lights as well as the light bar. And here is the electrically operated boot, which reveals 425 litres of boot space. Now this is slightly down on the 500 litres you get in the Sealion 7, but as you will see now, 425 litres, still plenty of space for me to climb in. So here we are in the back seats of the Sealion 6, and first things first, it's really comfortable. How comfortable? Let me show you. This seat is in my driving position, and as you can see, if I sit properly, I have plenty of knee room to spare. I've got a lot of headroom because this car is actually a little bit taller than the Sealion 7, and I already have plenty of headroom in that. So this car, plenty of headroom, and of course, because it has that fully flat floor from having the battery underneath the floor of the car, I have lots and lots of space here in the footwell for me to move around or for people to sit. Now, on the seats itself, you have ISOFIX anchor points on both sides for your baby seats. You have your little strap to fold down the rear seat so you can get more cargo space. In the middle, you have your armrest and cup holders. And here at the front, of course, air vents, as well as a USB Type-A port and a Type-C port. So sitting back here, just how comfortable is it? Well, you might have seen that we took this car earlier this year from Singapore up to Genting, Kuantan and Malacca, and that was a over 1,000 km road trip that we did here in the Sealion 6. And every single time I was back here, or my passengers were back here, this is how we looked like. So it was really comfortable, and it's really easy to just relax here in the back of the Sealion 6, especially because these seats are kind of reclined. So it is just a really easy place to sit back, relax, and of course enjoy the view out of your panoramic sunroof. So here we are now in the front seats of the Sealion 6, and as it was in the back, it is a comfortable place to be in. These seats are very cushy, they're fully electric, and they are ventilated. Now the rest of the interior is actually pretty much business as usual if you've seen any of our other videos on BYDs or you've test driven a couple of BYDs yourself. So up front you get your multifunction steering wheel with physical buttons that of course control your media functions, your adaptive cruise control, your lane keep assist and stuff like that, and all of it is viewable through the digital gauge cluster in front of you. Now you also have your 15.3-inch rotating display that has Apple CarPlay wireless and Android Auto also wireless built in, so you can connect your devices, and of course you have all of your other functions and settings available through the screen as well as the display for stuff like your 360-degree camera. Now down here you have your dual wireless charging pads as well as some of the other vehicle functions like volume control, the toggle between your hybrid mode and EV mode, which I'll cover in just a bit, and as well as of course your gear lever and park button. Then of course cup holders and a really deep center cubby storage. Now under here you also have a bit more storage for handbags, purses, wallets, small items, as well as another USB Type-C charging port and a USB Type-A charging port. So it's a very functional interior here in the Sealion 6, nothing too spectacular, but you still get of course all of the creature comforts. You get your ventilated seats like I mentioned, as well as an Infinity by Harman Kardon sound system that sounds pretty decent. So all that's left to do now is see how she drives. So driving the Sealion 6 DMI, I think let's first start with what DMI stands for. DMI stands for Dual Mode Intelligence. So what does dual mode mean? Well, basically it means the hybrid system in this car can function both in series and parallel. So it can function both as a purely electric vehicle where the electric motor is the only thing driving the wheels, or it can also function where the petrol engine is the one driving the wheels, or both, which is of course very intelligent. So what that means is, for the most part when you're driving around with a full battery or with some battery left in the tank, this functions as essentially any run-of-the-mill electric car. You still get your electric drive and the engine only kicks in when you need that extra power. But if you're just trundling around town, for instance, in normal Singaporean city driving, the engine never has to come on, especially because you can toggle with a little switch here between EV mode and HEV mode. EV of course being full EV and HEV being hybrid EV. Now next step, let's talk about range. So in full EV mode, this can get you about 80 kilometers on a full charge of range. So picture this, let's say you have easy charging at your house or your office. That means with an average Singaporean driving of 50 km a day, if you only ever drive around that 50-60 km a day and you have easy charging at your home or office, you never have to use the petrol engine. You never have to use the fuel in your tank, which means until such time as you travel more than 80 km a day, or you decide, you know what, today let's drive up to Penang or let's drive up to Genting, you can do so. You don't have to do any additional planning because of course you don't have to charge this car. You still have petrol in the tank, and along the way up, if you need to top up again, you can just stop by a petrol station. And you shouldn't need to top up that many times either, because as it stands, I've driven 205 kilometers or so on this drive so far, and I still have an indicated 941 km of range. This car will do 1000 km on a single tank and a full charge easy. When the battery level is at about 25 to 100%, the car will mostly focus on electric driving as and when it can, because that is the, I suppose, more efficient way of doing things. But once it gets below about 25%, the engine switches on a lot more, such as it is now. I'm only on 21% of battery, and that serves to put some charge back into the battery to ensure you always have some charge left in the battery and that the battery doesn't go flat, because of course that's bad for the battery. Now you can also adjust, of course, how much your target battery level is through the main screen. Now let's say you're going on a camping trip and you want to use the vehicle to load function, which this car has, and you need a bit more charge when you get there to run your appliances. Well, you can set the target amount. So let's say I want 50% of battery by the time I reach. You can toggle it up and then the engine will turn on and use, of course, more petrol to charge the battery, but it will focus more on charging the battery up back to your target level. Okay, I think I've said the word petrol and fuel and battery too much. Let's talk about how the car actually drives. For starters, the steering is really light, it's really easy to use. It's not a sports car by any means, but it is decent enough. There's not much in the way of feedback, but it is a really easy car to maneuver in and around town or in tight car parks, especially because I have stuff like my 360-degree camera to make it really easy to know where the corners of my car are. Now, one of the other things that I've noticed on the Sealion 6 is that the brake feel in this, compared to some of the other hybrids out on the market, is much better. BYD has managed to make it a much more natural feeling brake pedal. It doesn't feel, overly boosted where it's just flying forward every time you tap the brake, and it feels like it's strong enough to slow the car down. So there you go. I mean, the Sealion 6. It has an intelligent powertrain. It opens up the flexibility of petrol-powered driving while still having the benefits of EV driving. And feature-wise, it has most of everything you want without missing out on anything you need. Now, I've always believed that a plug-in hybrid is the best way forward. To me, it's the best of both worlds. I get the benefits of EV driving and pootling around town with no fumes and more instant torque, but I also get the flexibility of taking my car on a long drive whenever I want and not having to worry about charging stations or charging times. And I truly believe that a lot of people are of the same mindset that I am. So if you've been in the market for a new car and you've been interested in jumping aboard the BYD train, but you haven't been ready to commit to a fully electric lifestyle, well, perhaps this is worth taking a look at. Thank you very much for watching this episode of mReview. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again soon.
Motorist